Well, we've got ourselves our brand new St Croix MojoBass medium light. It is their BFS rod, which means it's for bait finesse system. It's a medium light, moderate fast rod, 6'6", and we are going to match that up today with our brand new, this is the Shimano BFS, brand new, right out of the box. Of course, it's left-hand return, because that's what I do, left-hand retrieve. Ultra light spool. So let's go ahead and see what else I ordered. Now, these two items I bought from Tackle Warehouse. They had the rod in stock. They were the only ones around that I find it. But, you know, I'm also very much so a Bass Pro kind of guy, and they seem to have just about everything I like. So while I was traveling in Europe, I was on my cell phone and I was ordering stuff because I knew I'd be coming home and I would need, stuff. Boy, a big box for something very small. This is the brand new Z-Man. These are little crawdads. These are the blue and blacks. They are very small, very lightweight. When I get done pairing this up with a hook, I'll be down around 1/8 of an ounce, maybe just a hair over, which will set me up right in the zone I want to do for fishing. So, box one, we got some lure. Now, let's see what we have in box two. Sort of surprised they didn't put it all in one box since it was all one order, but hey, Bass Pro knows what they're doing. At least we would hope so. Now this may be, well, again, I'm not quite sure what their thinking is. Big box for what? Some little jig heads, okay? And wow, that's going to be going in our system there. Finally, our last box. This is another big one. I wonder what we'll have inside this. I imagine everything else I ordered. Well, we are going to start with packing paper. Yay! And now, these are the black and blue. These are our green pumpkin. Here where I live, green pumpkin, that color, whether it's a worm, I mean, if it's not green pumpkin they're hitting on, it's the black and blue. You can throw all kinds of other stuff out there. I just haven't figured out why I need to have all these different colors when if it's not the black and blue, then it's the green pumpkin. One of the two is going to work. I also got some very small finesse worms from Yum. These are little petite guys. I can pair these up with these jig heads and I'll still be down just around 1/4 ounce of weight, which would be perfect for this combination of rod that I've got going. So we have that. Oh, I got myself a little diving jig. We'll take a look at this a little bit later. It's covered with a label right now. Here, I've got some titanium weights. Let's see, what were these? These were small. These were 1/8 ounce, I believe. 1/8 ounce titanium weights. That'll go with our tackle. And, a little micro chatterbait. Now, I have heard, that these work well. I've always used larger jigs and all because I'm looking for big fish. But I'm hearing that in the waters around where I fish, and sometimes the fish are in that 1 to 2 pound range, I might get a little bit better action off of something smaller. So we've got this nice little chatterbait. Again, green pumpkin with a black skirt. We'll give that a try. Now, here is something that comes highly recommended. This is the Suffix Revolve. If I can get this label off so you can take a look at it. This is the Suffix Revolve. Now, the Suffix Revolve is supposed to be a very light, very limber, just the top of the line of not fluorocarbon, but braid. This is a 10-pound braid, and it is so small in diameter, it's the equivalent of like a 3 or 4 pound of fluorocarbon. So I'll be able to put a little bit more, maybe I might get up to 75 yards. on my BFS Shimano reel. We'll find out, but this is had to have that. Frog, oh yeah. A lot of people who are doing finesse fishing, they are fishing with frogs. And I've never been a great fan of frogs, only have had very moderate success with them. But here's a little leopard from Live Target. That should work well. Oh, yeah, cool. Micro Finesse, Mercy. These are just some little teeny, like Ned head type style plastics. Put that over, we'll actually put it in that category. Here are some very small, like from Yum. This is a finesse worm. What's nice about this worm, it starts thick at the head, goes down thin, and then it becomes thick at the tail. What this does is it gives us a very unique action as it's dropping, okay? It'll tend to drop and flop and drop and flop. So we'll give that a try. Now you'll notice I'm loading up with finesse here. That's all that this is about. What do I have here? Did I double order something? Boy, I sure did. Here's some more Z-Man green pumpkin. Somehow or another, I got doubled order on that. Well, of course, oh, I know what the difference is. This is the Crawdad. It's a slightly different plastic creature than what I have over there. And let's go ahead and slide this out for a second. Crawdad. Okay. And these come highly recommended. Whereas this is not a crawdad, it's a creature. This is your basic bug, okay? That's your basic bug. And you can see there is a difference here between our crawdad and our bug. I'm not sure the fish are going to make that big of a difference in what they see, but it may present a little bit different, make it a little bit different action on the fall. So, hence, you know, look, I'm just like you. How do I figure out what to use? I go on YouTube, I see what other people are using, I hear their explanations, and I figure for $5, I can give that a try. So what we have here are some creatures, both from Z-Man. They're supposed to have this stretch technology that makes them last longer. You know, you can grab that critter and I mean, it'll just won't rip, it'll stretch. And we're going to find out if it's as good as they say it is. Oh, here's some more Neds, Ned rigs. These are the micro TRDs. Again, it's green pumpkin. I guess I'm sort of addicted to green pumpkin, huh? And, oh, now, I'm a great fan of whopper ploppers. I probably have caught almost as many fish on some form of whopper plopper as I have on a like a worm, for instance. But when you're throwing with this this finesse setup, I wanted to get me a very teeny little whopper plopper, okay? And this is the real deal. It's a 60. It's very small. The particular styling of it is very typical of bait fish that are in the waters that I fish. So we'll give that lure a shot. So we got a couple of hard baits, got a bunch of soft baits, and what else do we have here? Oh yeah, we've got some hooks. So these are your typical hooks. I'm sure most of you work with something like this. All right, so there's some 2.0s, and these are your typical EWG offset hooks that are used with plastics, okay, worms, etc. So that'll go in the kit. And by the way, I am going to be setting up a kit for all of this. Here's some 1.0s. Again, we're doing finesse fishing. And then finally, over here, I can't even tell you what this is other than it's by Z-Man. Oh, these are some ultra small jig heads, okay? And this particular jig head here, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be using this, but it's small, very petite. Might even be able to use this when I'm going after some of the larger panfish, etc. So those are the box. We've unloaded a lot of stuff. The next thing we got to do is get it all loaded into some kind of a packaging that's easy to use. So all of the stuff that was over here has been taken out of its package and put into some recycled boxes here. I use a label maker, and you know, they're not terribly expensive, but my eyes aren't as good as they used to. I like nice and big labels, and so for instance, right here, I list the size of the hooks, okay? And it works out pretty good, you know? Stuff is in there nice and neat, and we've got it. And oh, this is sort of fun. This is actually one of the bags that the hooks came in. Took the cardboard off, trimmed off the top, and I put my little, my Ned Head softs, lures in there. And so this is just a way that I can now take these things, and rather than having everything crammed into a worm bag, I now have quick access to a couple of things I may want to use if I had to set something up in a hurry. And that's all there. And this goes back like that. And you know, you see I always put them in double. I always have this here and this here. If it's laying down flat, you can read the label there. If it's sitting in your tackle box in the vertical mode, you can read it there. And I have so many boxes of different lures and weights and stuff. The more organized I am, the less time I spend trying to find something. So this is the brand new Shimano Curado BFS. It is a traditional magnet braking system, and but it's very nice. This one here is actually an 8.2 to 1. The big thing with these is that the spools are just ultra small, ultra thin, ultra light, so that you have the ability to cast a small lure with these things. So we're going to put on maybe 50, 70 yards of this Suffix Revolve. And this is supposed to be the absolute bomb as far as these small reels. You'll notice I go with my traditional, you know, this dark green just really works well here in Florida in our waters. Our waters are not, you know, streams that are crystal clear. They've always got a little bit of color to them, and this seems to do a really good job. In the past, you've seen me use this. This here is the best. I mean, I've looked at so many of these different devices for loading line onto your reel. I'm just telling you, this is small, it is compact. I love using it. Today we'll probably even use it the correct way. Like so. And well, we got some glasses on now. That should assist us a little bit in making this happen. We're going to release the, it says open here. We release that, twist that. That comes out. Now this is be a whole lot easier to wind this on if we do it. Tie the knot on here first. So make sure when you do this, bring it out the side. All right, that'll probably be enough. I've got to be very careful with this because it's not made to have too much line on it.